And म ठुलो भएपछि पछि गएर maybe I'll be a veterinary doctor. I'll be someone who saves the trees. That's what I wanted to do. It is a matter of courage, but it's also a matter of privilege to pursue your passion and purpose wholeheartedly. So म बाहिर पढेपछि मात्र मैले नेपालको महत्त्व बुझेँ जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई. And home is not the four walls that you go back to after this event. For me, it wasn't about asking myself if I can try to fit in that stereotype that you normally see. For me, it was about asking if I was a good representative of my country and of the world as well. Hello everyone. Sabai beautiful beings lai mero dherai dherai maya. So first of all, the Storyyellers. I'm not someone who is a storyteller at heart. I'm more of a story whisperer. And तर त्यो भन्दा नि सबसे fascinating कुरा चाहिँ मलाई के लाग्छ भने कि I have a story to tell भनेर. Because when I was young, my father used to tell me these amazing stories about his childhood. खोलामा खेल्न जानु हुने रे 18वटा कुकुर घरमा राख्नु हुन्थ्यो रे. त्यस्तै गरे यस्तो mischievous अघि दाइले भन्नुभयो जस्तै है, so many mischievous and interesting stories to tell. अनि मलाई चाहिँ मेरो कथा त के हो त जस्तो लाग्थ्यो कि म घरबाट एक्लै निस्केको पनि छैन जस्तो लाग्थ्यो. And the fact that you all are here to listen to a story, maybe not as adventurous, there's still something so dear to me. It really means a lot, so thank you so much for being here. So, मेरो कथा चाहिँ, I think it's very heavily influenced by my father. He is the one who told me stories, not just about himself, तर त्यहाँ भएको हाम्रो घरमा भएको गाईको बारेको कथा होला, खरायोको, different parrots ko, all different species ko kathaharu chai भन्नुहुन्थ्यो कि मलाई. And from that lens, I feel like my eyes opened to a world beyond humans. And then I started feeling a lot of emotions towards the kinds of love that they show us. And म ठुलो भएपछि पछि गएर maybe I'll be a veterinary doctor. I'll be someone who saves the trees. That's what I wanted to do. And it's funny that how I've slowly navigated my life towards that, because बाबाले चाहिँ मलाई कथाहरू भन्दाखेरि first of all चाहिँ म एकदमै बस छुट्याउने. I am really bad at time management, and I think my friends can relate to that, the sad part of it. But सानोदेखि नै like जन्मेदेखि नै like स्कुलमा राखेदेखि नै मैले जहिले पनि बस छुट्याएको छु कि. And that meant कि बाबाले चाहिँ मलाई स्कुटरमा आधा घन्टा ड्राइभ गरेर स्कुल पुर्याउनुहुन्थ्यो. It's mostly चाहिँ गाली खान्थे, तर if I'm lucky I would get more stories from him. अनि त्यसमा पनि अब हेर्दै जाऊ यो रुखहरू हराउँदै जान्छ. We used to see this, like black smokes coming out of the cars. अनि त्यो टाइममा चाहिँ it was very rare, है. The air was pretty clean. And त्यो सबै चेन्ज हुँदै जान्छ भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ अहिले आएर मात्र रियलाइज भएको छ. And the fact that Baba was so kind, Baba taught me so many things in life, है. तर on the contradictory, he works in the poultry industry. So that's our family business. And we are one of the pioneers of the poultry industry here in Nepal. So there is a very deep and dark side to the poultry industry. So if you go back and look at my childhood photos, you'll see a little cute me, but also you'll see many chickens, right? And often being murdered heartlessly as well. So the dark side of poultry, it's completely against Baba's nature as well. And I've seen him kind of like almost 25 years भइसक्यो हैन. I've seen him go through that नमलाइकन पनि मैले गर्नुपर्छ यो भन्ने एउटा sad part चाहिँ मैले जहिले पनि देखिरहेको हुन्छु. It's against his nature. It's not in my nature भन्नुहुन्छ है, but he still has to keep on going back to that to run the family जस्तो एउटा side चाहिँ देख्न पाएँ. So the fact that I can do what I love, I can carry on my purpose and passion is a matter of huge privilege. because not everyone has that chance. It is a matter of courage, but it's also a matter of privilege to pursue your passion and purpose wholeheartedly. And म त पछि गएर I was fortunate enough to even study environment studies. I loved studying about biodiversity. I loved naming different birds and all those beautiful things in nature. And so बाहिरमा चाहिँ I studied in Vermont in the United States, and there what I loved the most about it was that we were asked to study everything other than what you wanted to study. Okay? So you were encouraged to explore all different realms. So म चाहिँ एकदमै साइन्सको background है. Science is considered like high marks, so you get to go in the science field, something to be celebrated. So I was always very much focused on the sciences. But I realized that what I loved the most about environment is that emotion, it's that kindness that my dog showed me. That sense of faith, without words, she knows me. I feel like that emotion, that compassion is what I was looking for in whatever I was trying to do. And my energy ko field ma pani kaam gare. I worked as a graphics ma pani, as a campaigner work gare, social media pani here, research pani here. But every time it felt like I was missing the mark. That where is the thing that I love the most? My environment padera ta tyहाँ as a student gएको छु. It's such a vast field ki. Where can I find my sense of purpose? So I remember it's the end of the world bhanne. There's a huge lawn, and you can see all the stars there. And so I used to go there every night and ask the stars, what is my purpose in life? What do I want to do in life? And first year it was like, okay, something about the environment. Second year, it got a little clearer. It has to be around wildlife. Third year, it's so much more than just wildlife. It's our identity. We are very much interconnected with it. And every time I kept answering the question, I found out the answers pointed back home. Okay? So म बाहिर पढेपछि मात्र मैले नेपालको महत्त्व बुझेँ जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई. So नेपालमा चाहिँ like the heritage, Zun compassion ko, it's like the foundation of our city, of the city that we're standing here. So karuna bhaneko चाहिँ के हो भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ when I was studying that, that's a perfect climate action plan, that's a perfect environment action plan भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ मैले बुझ्दै गएँ. So I wanted to come back home and do something here to study more about it. तर घर फर्किनु भन्ने कुरा डिसिजन लिनु पनि it's equally challenging. भन्न त घर त हो, anytime आयो हुन्छ भन्छ है, तर you get to hear a lot of things when you say I want to return back to Nepal. And it's not an easy decision because you get maybe like a 3-year work opportunity paउँछ होला. And then they'll say कि हुन्छ नि 3 years, so you get the work visa, you get to live best of both worlds पनि. In those 3 years, what are you missing out भन्ने question चाहिँ we don't answer often. And for me, it was my time with my 11-year-old dog. It was my time with my grandparents as well. And I wanted to be very close to them. And so 3 years, if something happens and I don't get to hear their stories, then I won't be able to live with that huge regret. And I think that it did cost me a lot to come to that realization because the day after our graduation, I remember giving a call to my maternal grandma. So she looked so pretty ke त्यो बेला. I think if anybody, is like pageant material in our family, it's definitely my grandma. Because she loves painting her nails red and she always keeps that red lipstick on. Ani she was in a lot of pain that day when I called her. She looked very pretty. She was trying to fight a lot. But right after the phone call, the other day, she passed away. And I was there in a foreign land, all alone, unable to live with the regret. हाम्रो सबै घरमा माहरूले भन्नुहुन्छ होला नि अहिले त आउने हो पछि म नभएपछि भेट्न आएर के हुन्छ र भन्नुहुन्छ होला है. And we never realized that part. And so I think that is what cost me. And then I realized it's high time to come back home. Even to come back home, I traveled all around the States, met different relatives, not to look at the beauty of another country, but rather to taste the flavors of the curries that my relatives cooked at their homes. Okay? Because kata if you look at your family ko, mama patiko side ma khanekura arke taste huncha hola haina, fufu patiko arke huncha. So I was trying to find home through their home as well, through the curries that they cooked, and that's when I realized that Nepal is not just a country anymore. It's such a global community, okay? And we really need to start thinking beyond borders. I don't think I'm the most patriotic person out here, and I really feel like we need to rediscover our identities as global citizens as well, and what our country holds. So it was a very abrupt decision too. I had a part-time job. I was working as a travel writer. And so this mate, as I was exploring different options, the first conversation that I had with my grandfather after coming here was that he knew all the birds' name still. He used to be an environmentalist, okay? And just yesterday, he got his certificate. I think Bans Samrakshan ko lagi bhanera, he got a certificate as well. And I was very proud. So he planted a lot of those trees that you see in Swayambhu as well. And it started feeling like me choosing to become an environmentalist is not a coincidence. Maybe when he planted those trees and said, for the future generations, मेरो नाति नातिनीले पनि हेर्न पाओस्, सफा हावा breathe in गर्न पाओस् भन्ने sentiment राखेर सबै रोप्नु भएको थियो होला है. And maybe now the trees are talking to me. And maybe now the trees also remember me somehow. I really feel like we are so interconnected. And home is not the four walls that you go back to after this event. Home is the relationships that we build with those trees, with those rivers, with the birds, and the place that we are here right now. हामी मध्ये कतिजना ओके म फेरि फिर्ता नेपाल आउँछु म फेरि आफ्नो ग्रान्डमाको लागि ग्रान्ड पेरेन्ट्सको कथा सुन्न आउँछु भनेर चाहिँ फर्किन सक्छ होला. And that is a question we really need to think about because we are the last generation to capture their stories. And home is not the four walls that you go back to after this event. Home is the relationships that we build with those trees, with those rivers, with the birds, and the place that we are here right now. I know we have this entire setup here to hear their stories. All you need is to just give time to them, and you'll find out so many beautiful answers about whatever that's becoming, that's needed in our world right now. For example, to say sustainability is such a huge topic right now. It's something that I always think about. And this answer side again comes back to, hey, मेरो grandmaले त पहिला यस्तो गर्नुहुन्थ्यो त. She had this beautiful zero waste hair care routine. And all those strategies. सँगै हाम्रो, like I mentioned, karuna भन्ने जुन छ नि, that's the main essence of climate action that we're missing. Because we can think about climate as in numbers, through different phrases, but at the end of it, if compassion isn't at the heart of whatever we are doing, we're not getting anywhere. And if we are to provide solutions as a country, it's that compassion. Karunamaya भन्ने जुन God हामीले सुन्छौँ पनि हैन. There's a beautiful answer to it. And if you even look at the prayer flags, they're always telling us these beautiful stories, beautiful prayers, not just for you and I, but for all different species around the world. Even that tree that's outside, or the lizard that's looking and hearing my speech right now, the prayers go to them as well. And so, argo interesting conversation that happened with my grandfather after coming back was that he wanted me to join Miss Nepal. And to that, we all laughed because I was the most unpageant kind of person at that time. Mere life ko goal at that time was to live a life very minimal. One shoe, one hiking shoe. I had my hair tied up in knot all the time, all natural fabrics, And I was very I wouldn't say I was not stylish. I had a different kind of style, but just not the type of glamour that you see. But I wanted to take that challenge because for way too long, I had been shy and I had been not taking opportunities. So although मैले त्योभन्दा अगाडि मिस नेपालको एउटा एपिसोड पनि or एउटा शो पनि हेरेको थिएन है, I didn't even fully comprehend that pageantry is what it's about until my friend actually really explained to me. She's right here. For me, it wasn't about asking myself if I can try to fit in that stereotype that you normally see. For me, it was about asking if I was a good representative of my country and of the world as well. And to your surprise, there are a lot of great representatives, and I'm also one of them. But it was simple as that feeling that I can just be honest, and I have all the lessons that my grandparents have taught me, and I can be truthful and present myself. So just making to the audition was a huge deal for me. I remember even coming back home and crying because I didn't know how the audition went. I just felt very overwhelmed with the feeling that I gave it a shot भनेर. अनि पछि बिस्तारै हाम्रो ट्रेनिङहरु हुँदै जाँदा पनि my goal was never to win a crown or win the title. It was simply कि am I sharing the love that my dogs gave me, that my grandparents gave me, to one more friend out there. And that's enough भन्ने थियो. And as the training went, I think मैले मेरो बाबालाई चाहिँ त्यो बेला फिनालेको डेमा चाहिँ I had called him and I said, Baba, you still don't believe मैले गर्न सक्छु नि है भनेर सोधेको थिएँ भन्नुहुन्छ. Something in me was really sure about the message and purpose that I had in my heart. And Miss Nepalkoमा चाहिँ again, beyond the beauty as well, there's a project that we have to do भन्छु है. And the project, भन्ने term चाहिँ how can we stop using? That's a thing that we and my team at Deego Pranali, our organization, that's what we always think about because project is time bound. But what I wanted to form, what we should really felt in our heart was beyond a certain time frame. It would last for generations भन्ने थियो के. And हामीले चाहिँ when I first went with my project, or let's say an initiative, a movement with the office, they didn't understand at all. And my sir, like one of our oldest directors, always says it took him over a year to understand what it really meant. Because remember, जब म कलेजमा म पढ्न जाँदाखेरि पनि I kept working in different fields, but I couldn't find the emotion. And that's what happened when I was designing the project as well. The current framework that we have right now is just not enough to carry those emotions, carry the compassion, put compassion at the heart of it, put the planet at the center of it. That was still missing, and we really needed to rebuild the entire system. So हामीले चाहिँ rebuild कसरी गर्न सक्छौं? So हाम्रो SDGsहरु हुन्छ, हाम्रो different frameworks हुन्छ. But what has our grandparents taught us? What's the framework that they lived by? And to me, that was like, Panchabuddha, prayer flags. That's our key भन्ने भयो के. Because the 5 elements, air, space, water, fire, earth. Did I miss something? I'm good, okay? But those 5 elements you'll see in the prayer flags, you'll see it. You might think it's just a decoration, it's part of our decoration. Chibadyoहरूमा पनि हुन्छ, every चोकमा हुन्छ है. But if you look closely, it has all the answers that you need to not just live your own life, but also to build a community, to build a multi-species community. त्यसमा त्यो सर्पको पनि कथा हुन्छ, भ्यागुताको पनि कथा हुन्छ. हाम्रो entire environmentलाई कसरी care गर्ने त भन्ने solutions हुन्छ. So I was like, I'm not going to go around for a project to find a problem, just to say, okay, I'm going to help you solve it. I'm going to go research a place with enough solutions that I can take forward to the world and say, that is the key. We don't have any problems. We have the solutions that you need to be listening to. So हामीले चाहिँ यसलाई पञ्च प्रणाली भन्दैछौँ. And once again, it's not for winning at all. Even the journey that I'm taking, it's not for winning or losing. I always say कि हाम्रो purpose चाहिँ it's not up for competition at all. Okay? And whenever I say it's not for winning, people feel like, oh, she's already giving up. But no, I feel like I'm completely giving myself to the process, to what really inspired me at the first place to continue life in the first place. It's not pageantry. It's not just to enjoy life, but it's to actually respect the different forms of relationships that make home so special. And if we can just give a moment to listen to those different stories out there, the story of that tree that stood and saw all the change, we can get a little closer to really understanding how intelligent they are. If we can just be, close to all the little stories of that little ants walking around, maybe we can find out what life truly means and how compassionate it can truly be. So, like I said earlier, I am not more of a storyteller. I'm more of a story whisperer. And so that's also our project as well. Srichchha Pradhan is not something you'll find in the most trendiest page or in the most trending reels. It's something that will come to your heart when, after all the chaos, you kind of need a little bit of solace, you kind of need a little bit of calm. That's when you'll remember this story. And I hope even my story is like that. And whenever you feel like you need a little bit of breathing in and breathing out and slowing down, I hope we can meet and talk about all these beautiful things that make life so beautiful. And to me, that's nature. So thank you so much.